Hi everyone, this is Josh Arnett with Children's Literature. This is my presentation for the author file assignment. For my author file, I decided to look at Jonathan Stroud. A little bit about him. He was born in Bedford, England on October 27, 1970. His family moved to St. Albans, which is located near London, when he was 6 years old. And as a child, he enjoyed writing and illustrating and became an avid reader, mainly because he was frequently ill between the ages of 7 and 9, and he used reading as a means of escaping boredom. He found that he enjoyed fantasy more than realistic fiction because it gave him more of an escape. And he also tried his hand at creating comics, game books, board games, and later poems and plays throughout school. Eventually, he graduated from York University with a degree in English literature and got an editorial job at Walter Books in London, where he worked on encyclopedias, history books, and game books. He published his own book, Word Puzzles, in 1994. That was the first book he ever published. And he published his first novel, Buried Fire, in 1999. And in 2001, he became a full-time author. One of his most well-known series, and the book series that I know him for, is the Bartimaeus trilogy. It's a series of 3 books published between 2003 and 2005. And there was also a prequel published later in 2010, which I have not read. He is married. His wife's name is Gina. They were married in 2001, and they have 2 children, Isabel and Arthur. His books are generally aimed at children and young adults, but they have gained a wider appeal among older audiences as well, and the Bartimaeus trilogy is still one of my favorite fantasy book series. His work often explores darker sides of life and human nature. And he has earned several awards between 2004 and 2010. These include the Costa Children's Book Award, the Children's Book Award from Austria, the Sybil Award, the Mythopoeic, I think that's how you pronounce that, Fantasy Award, Quill Book Award, Lancashire County Library Children's Book of the Year Award, the Boston Globe Horn Book Award, and 2 other awards from Germany and France. I honestly can't pronounce them, so I'm not going to try. I was able to find 2 quotes from him that really stood out to me, and one of them will be the basis for my idea for an activity later on. The first one is from his own Q&A section on his About Me on his own website, where someone asked him where he gets his ideas, and he explained that ideas come from everywhere and can hit you at any time. Ideas can be big or small, crashing insights, or half-baked intuitions. I think they come from almost anything. People you meet, places you go, things you read, conversations overheard, dreams, newspapers, today's television, childhood memories. The thing to do is to write them down when you get them, or they'll quickly drift away. And another one I found on British Council website for literature, which is my guiding principle when writing is to create something that I, as a reader, would love to discover on a shelf. So that's the end of my brief presentation about Jonathan Stroud and his life and work. The activity that I thought would be fun to do is based on that first quote, that ideas can come from anywhere and hit you at any time. It reminded me of an activity that I did when I was a writing tutor in college while I was earning my first degree, where we would take 2 random things, put them together, make a story about it. So, for example, your favorite movie character and your least favorite food. This is an example I used in a tutoring session. Her favorite superhero was Thor, and her movie character was Thor, and her least favorite food was cottage cheese. So we sort of brainstormed this real short story about how Thor had to eat cottage cheese. We decided that he had eaten too much fast food on Earth, needed to get more in shape, and so that he was getting put on a cottage cheese diet. So the activity that I have thought of is we create a wheel, sort of a Jeopardy wheel, if you will, of just different things, favorite it could be, best friend, favorite movie, least favorite. Food could be the thing that scares you the most, or your favorite ride at Disney World. Just different things, just to get those unusual combinations to fit together. And you'd spin the wheel a couple of times, you'd get, I don't know, best friend and scariest thing you ever did, and suddenly your best friend is going through that creepy haunted house that traumatized you as a 4-year-old or whatever. So that was my idea for an activity, and that is the end of my presentation. Hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward to learning about your favorite authors.